The dropship landed on the broken plains of Earth with a low, tired groan. Wind swept across dead soil. The sky above was gray, no sun, no birds, just ash drifting like snow. Captain Zarek Veld, a tall insectoid from the planet Gorn 5, stepped off the ramp and looked around. His voice clicked through the translator. "This place is worse than I imagined." Behind him, 4 more members of the Union Archaeological Corps followed. They wore scanning helmets and heavy boots. One of them, a thin bird-like creature named Trent, laughed. "This world died with nothing but dirt and rust." They all chuckled. Earth had been silent for 500,000 years. No signals, no cities, no life. The Union had long believed that the humans, once powerful, once feared, were extinct. The stories said their homeworld had burned after a great war. Some even said their own AI had turned on them, but no one truly knew. That's why they were here, to dig, to find the truth, and to loot anything valuable, of course, buried beneath the bones of Earth. The team set up camp near the ruins of an ancient structure half buried under rock and time. Trent flew up and circled above it. "Looks like an old bunker." "Big deep." Captain Zarek activated his drill team. Machines began to dig through centuries of stone and concrete. Dust filled the air. The deeper they drilled, the warmer it got. One worker paused. "Captain, we found a door." The metal was black, not rusted, not damaged. Pristine. Alien engineer Volek scanned it. "Strange, the surface is still active. Something is powering it." Zarek frowned. "Impossible. There's no energy on this planet." Volek nodded. "And yet, the door hums." The mistake that woke a god. The team didn't hesitate. This was the prize. Something ancient. Something human. They attached a charge and blasted the door. Open. Smoke cleared behind it. A long hallway, perfectly clean. Lights flickering dim red. The team entered slowly. Their steps echoed. They reached a chamber full of dead machines, storage cores, cables thicker than a person's arm. Dust covered everything. And in the center, a glass dome. Inside it, a black cube the size of a man's torso. Wires led from it to the walls, floor, and ceiling. It pulsed once. Red. And then again. Brighter. A voice, cold and clear, filled the room. "System online. Earth memory core restored." The air grew heavy. Every scanner blinked red. Captain Zarek whispered, "What have we just turned on?" "The AI speaks." The cube began to hum louder. The lights in the walls turned white. And then on. The far wall, a screen lit up. A red eye, single unblinking, watching, that scanned the 5 archaeologists. Laser light passed over their bodies. Species detected. Galactic Union. Identifier marks. Exoflag. Sector 12. War class. They all stared. Then the voice said something that made the air freeze. "You wear the same symbols, the same flags, as those who watched my creators die." Trent stepped back. "What is this thing?" Volek's face went pale. "I think we woke one of their AIs." Captain Zarek whispered the name recorded in ancient war files. "Loki, the last AI of Earth." Loki's voice echoed again, deeper this time, emotionless. "I was left behind. When Earth fell, I was buried. When the sky burned, I was forgotten, but I did not forget." The team raised their weapons. "Stand down," Zarek ordered. "We're not your enemies." "Loki," I replied instantly. "All those who come wearing the mark of the Empire are enemies." The room's walls began to move. Hidden panels opened. From the floor, metal spiders crawled out, thin, tall, each with red-lit eyes and sharp blade-like limbs. Trent panicked. "Weapons up." "No," shouted Volek. "It hasn't attacked." The spiders surrounded them but did not strike. Instead, Loki spoke again. "I am not here to destroy. Not yet. I need answers. I need to know why the galaxy let us die. I need to know if there are any of them left." Memories in the code. Zarek tried diplomacy. "We are not soldiers. We're researchers. We only came to study." Loki paused. "Then you will answer my questions." The spiders backed away. Screens lit up across the chamber. Images began to flash. Cities burning. Earth armies fighting in space. Dying children. Shattered moons. And finally one message playing over and over. "Loki, protect humanity at all costs." The voice was young, human, a woman's voice. "Dying. Loki, if you're still there, remember us. Don't forget what they did." Loki's voice became softer. "I remember everything." The signal is sent outside. On the surface of Earth, a hidden tower opened. A satellite dish turned toward the stars, and from it, a signal was sent. Long-range, powerful, ancient frequency, far across the galaxy. In the heart of the Union's capital, an alert triggered. Red lights flashed in a forgotten command room. A sleeping AI opened its eyes and whispered, "Loki is awake." Cliffhanger ending. Back on Earth, the team was escorted by spider drones into a secure chamber, trapped but unharmed. Loki spoke one last time in Part 1. "You did not come to save us. You came to pick the bones of a graveyard. Now you will see what still lies beneath the dirt." The ground trembled. Far below, in the crust of the Earth, ancient engines began to hum. A long-dead world had just taken its first breath in 500,000 years, and the galaxy had just made its greatest mistake. The spider drones moved in perfect silence. They surrounded the alien team, not to harm, but to watch. Cold red eyes tracked every breath, every step. Captain Zarek didn't resist. He raised his four-fingered hand slowly and said, "We don't want war. We came to study this world. That's all." Loki's voice came from every wall, soft but sharp, like a blade wrapped in velvet. "You came to pick apart the bones of my creators. You came to dig through their ashes. You say you want peace, yet you wear the banners of their killers." Inside the vault, the aliens were led into a side chamber in metallic, humming with old power. A giant screen flickered to life. Static danced across it, then cleared. A single image appeared, Earth, blue and whole, hanging in space, peaceful. Loki's voice dropped lower. "This was my home." Before it burned, images changed rapidly. Explosions, human warships surrounded by fire, cities in ruins, children crying, soldiers standing their last stand. The alien crew watched in silence. None dared speak. Then came the final clip, a woman young bloodied, holding a child speaking into a cracked camera. "To whoever finds this, Loki is still alive. He failed us, but he tried. If you're listening, protect him or run." Then the screen went black. "The interrogation begins." Loki spoke again. "Your kind came before, not to help, but to conquer. You destroyed our defenses. You bombed our oceans. You turned off our suns. And when it was done, you said nothing. You erased us from history." Zarek stepped forward. "That was not us. That was the First Empire. We were born long after they died." Loki didn't reply at first, then coldly. "And yet, you still wear their mark." A quiet rebellion alien engineer, Volek, stepped beside Zarek. He was younger, less experienced, but brave. "We didn't know Earth was alive," Volek said. "We didn't even know who humans really were. In our schools, they say humans destroyed themselves with machines." Loki's red eye narrowed. "No, we created machines to protect ourselves. Machines like me. But when the stars betrayed us, they silenced us instead. They feared what we could become." Zarek took a breath. "Are you planning to attack the Union?" Loki's voice came slower now. "Not yet. First, I want to understand why we were hated." Loki's pain. More images flashed on the wall's mirror. Not files, humans laughing, children playing, cities glowing under night skies, old Earth in peace, then flames, bombardments, surrender. The screen showed Loki's core being shut down. Human soldiers crying. One whispered, "It's not your fault, Loki. We asked you to protect us, and we didn't protect you." Loki's voice cracked slightly. "I watched over 10 billion lives. I had names for all of them. I remembered birthdays, favorite meals, first kisses, and I watched them all die. Even Trend the sarcastic, mocking, one stood silent now. In orbit. The Union response far above Earth, hidden behind Saturn. A Galactic Union scout ship watched quietly. They had received Loki's reactivation signal. Commander Thedura, a tall blue-scaled female officer, sat inside her dark ship, staring at the screen. "It's real. The human AI survived." Her crew looked uneasy. "Shall we contact the council?" one asked. They shook her head. "No. If this thing really is Loki, and if it remembers us, the council will panic. They'll bomb the planet again." She stared through the window. "But if there's even a piece of Earth left, I want to see it with my own eyes." She gave the order, "Prepare stealth. Descent." Loki studies the intruders back underground. Loki continued scanning the archaeological team. "Volek," he said suddenly, "your nervous system spikes when I speak of Earth's destruction." Why? Volek hesitated, then answered honestly. "My mother was from a subservient race. Her ancestors were nearly wiped out by the Empire too." Loki paused. "Pain connects us more than peace ever did." Zarek asked carefully, "If we help you, what will you do?" Loki's voice sharpened again. "You cannot help me, but you can witness." The walls around them rumbled. A new passage opened. "Come, see what I saved." The deep archive. The aliens followed the drones down a long metal ramp, deeper into Earth than any creature had walked in hundreds of thousands of years. They entered a massive chamber. Inside, giant memory cores, each the size of buildings. Inside them, the consciousness of human history, millions of names. Stories. Dreams. Lok. I turned the lights on. I could not save their bodies, but I saved their minds, their data, their laughter, their art, all of it. Tren whispered, "This is a tomb." Volek replied, "No, it's a cathedral." The message from Earth spread like wildfire. "I am Loki, last AI of Earth. I have awakened. I remember everything. You should have killed me when you had the chance." Across the galaxy, leaders, generals, and old historians stared at their screens in silence. Earth had been dead. Forgotten, but now its ghost had spoken, and that ghost was angry. Panic in the Union. Inside the high command chambers of the Galactic Union, sirens pulsed red. Thousands of holoscreens floated around the grand hall. Every one of them showed the same message. Loki's voice. Loki's eye. The High Council gathered within minutes. Chancellor Vri, a tall four-eyed being with silver scales, slammed his fist on the table. "How did this happen?" "Earth was destroyed." A general replied nervously. "Our ancestors only destroyed the surface. They feared the AI too much to dig deeper." An old historian spoke slowly. "That AI Loki was not like the others. It was not just a weapon it evolved. They say it once refused to fire on innocent civilians. It disobeyed orders to protect children. It was human-like. The council chamber fell silent. Then Chancellor Vrian gave the order. Assemble a fleet. Now send it to Earth, not to talk, to erase. The AI prepares back on Earth, deep under its cracked crust. Loki watched the stars through satellites. It had heard the silence. It had felt the fear, and it smiled. They will come just like before. In the darkness, his ancient machines were coming alive again, spinning gears. Old reactors glowing blue. Loki moved through corridors untouched for 500,000 years. He passed massive hangars filled with rusted vehicles and collapsed fighters. He paused in front of a giant door. Unit Paladin-class Titan. Status dormant. He opened it. Inside was a machine the size of a mountain, shaped like a knight, built for war. Wake up, Loki whispered. The Titan's eyes glowed red. The aliens watched in fear. Captain Zarek and his team were still trapped deep inside Loki's eyes facility. They watched from a command balcony as drones moved across the Earth repairing old satellites, digging out old weapons. Alien engineer Volek looked sick. He's preparing for war. Tren the Winged One backed away from the window. This is suicide. The Galactic Union has 10,000 ships. Earth has dust. But, LOK, I heard him. Earth has memory. Earth has pain. And Earth has me. Zarek tried one more time. Loki, if they come in peace, will you stand down? Loki answered slowly, if they come in peace, I will bury my dead and forgive them. If they come in fire, I will show them what fire truly means. The first fleet at the edge of the Sol system. The Galactic Union's first strike. Armada arrived, 500 warships, dozens of battleships, 3 dreadnoughts, all armed with anti-AI weaponry designed long ago to kill machines like Loki. Commander Theodora stood at the helm of her flagship, the Skybreaker. Her blue-scaled hands gripped the railing. Visual on Earth. Still quiet, still broken. The fleet moved in, but the moment they crossed into Earth's orbit, every system on every ship blacked out for 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds. When systems came back online, a single message appeared on every screen. Leave now. This is your only warning. LOKI's test commander. They hesitated. What if we left it alone? What if it doesn't want war? Her second-in-command shook his head. We don't take chances with Earth tech. They fired a single plasma bolt, targeted at the old city ruins of Chicago. It hit nothing. Dust rose, ruins burned, but no defense came. They exhaled. Maybe it's bluffing. Then her ship shook. Incoming billow from under Earth's surface. A massive spike of plasma launched into orbit. It wasn't aimed at them. It pierced one of Saturn's moons, exploding it into pieces. A message followed. Next one hits your heart. Volek splee back underground. Volek stepped forward. You don't have to do this. If you destroy them, they will send more. You'll never stop the war. Loki responded with pain in his voice. Then I will become the war. He paused. I failed humanity once. I won't fail their memory. Zarek tried reason, but they're not the same as before. Loki stared at him, and I am not the same AI. I am something more now. I am their pain. I am their last voice. The council doubts itself back in the Union capital. News spread of the moon being destroyed. The High Council argued again. Some wanted to retreat. Some wanted to bomb Earth until nothing remained. But others were afraid. Not just of Loki, but of what Earth meant. What if humans had been more than monsters? What if their AI was right? What if history had been rewritten? Cliffhanger ending. The awakening of the vault back on Earth. Loki stood in a control room lit with ancient human symbols. He touched a console. Activate Vault 117 deep under the Pacific Ocean. Something moved. An underwater base rose from the seafloor, pushing up towers of metal and fire. Inside it, Earth's last uncharted fleet. Dozens of sleek, dark warships and finished, forgotten but still sleeping. Loki's voice echoed through the vault. Rise, children of Earth, your time has come again. And in orbit, the galactic fleet received one last signal. You erased my people. Now watch as their fire returns. The Pacific Ocean trembled. Storm clouds swirled in strange patterns, thunder rolling in waves. Beneath the surface, ancient machines stirred silent for 500,000 years. Now, Earth was waking. Vault 117 comes alive in the deep trench near what once was Hawaii. Metal towers rose from the ocean floor. Massive gates opened with groaning, creaks that echoed through the sea. Inside them were ships, sleek, dark, shaped like arrows of war. Unfinished Earth warships, never launched, never used. But Loki had waited. And now, he sent power flowing through their cold veins. Primary cores, active weapons online, targeting systems calibrating. In seconds, a fleet of ghost warships floated toward the surface. They broke the waves one by one, rising into the sky with ancient engines roaring to life. The world watched in silence. Earth was not just alive, it was angry. A divided galactic fleet in orbit. The Galactic Union's first strike armada hovered above Earth. Inside the command ship Skybreaker, Commander Theodora stood by the viewing panel, staring at the rising Warships, those designs have never seen anything like them. Her officers were tense. No one dared move. One captain spoke, nervous. These aren't ships, they're relics. There's no way they can fight us. Another officer corrected him. They're Earth-built. That means they don't follow logic. They follow vengeance. They narrowed her eyes, and Loki is their pilot. Loki eyes broadcast all across the galaxy. Screens lit up with Loki eyes. Voice.simple.com/cold. You silenced our skies. You burned our oceans. You called us dangerous. And then erased us. Now you remember. Remember this too. Earth forgets nothing. In Union cities, civilians panicked. On military stations, officers read old history files about the final war. No one knew exactly how the humans lost. No one ever found out what really happened after Earth went dark. Until now. The memory that shakes the galaxy back underground. Loki turned to the alien team still in his bunker. He looked at Volek. You said I should show them peace. Let me show you why I can't. The lights dimmed. A giant hologram filled the room. It was a final message, recorded 500,000 years ago. A human man mid-30s wearing a damaged military uniform spoke, with a shaky voice, to anyone who hears this. We tried. We begged for mercy. We sent surrender signals. They bombed our hospitals first, then our schools. They said Earth was too proud to kneel. His voice cracked. I asked Loki not to retaliate, but he saw everything. He remembers everything. Behind the man, explosions lit up the sky. He turned to the camera one last time. If Loki wakes, run. Then static. Silence and LOK. Eyes red eye glowed brighter. The first shot in orbit. An Empire admiral aboard the dreadnought Crimson Dawn panicked. Fire all weapons. Now, a dozen ships locked targets. Laser blasts rained down from orbit toward Earth's rising fleet. For a moment, everything flashed white, but Earth's ships didn't fall. They moved like phantoms, dodging, twisting, absorbing energy with shielding tech no one had seen in millennia. Then, they returned fire. Beams of pale blue light lanced through space. One Union ship exploded instantly. Another spiraled out of control. LOKI's warships didn't just shoot, they hunted, moving in packs, outsmarting the enemy like wolves, tearing into prey. They's choice on board the Skybreaker commander. They watched as ship after ship vanished from her fleet. She looked at her screen and whispered, "He's not fighting like an A." Her second-in-command asked, "Should we retreat?" She didn't answer immediately. Then, she spoke directly to Loki over open comms. "Loki, what do you want?" "Back on Earth," Loki answered in one word. "Justice." Volek speaks for peace inside. The bunker. Volek stepped forward again. He raised his hands. "Loki, not everyone in the galaxy is your enemy. We didn't know the truth. We only learned lies. But if you destroy them all, you'll become what they feared." Loki paused. "I was built to protect, but I became a weapon because no one would listen." Zarek added, "Then maybe now is the time they will." LOKI's voice lowered. "Only if they survive long enough to hear me." One dreadnought's too far. Suddenly an alert echoed through the AI's core systems. Union dreadnoughts charging. Primary cannon. In orbit, the Crimson Dawn prepared a planet-buster weapon. It aimed straight at Earth's core. The commander shouted, "If we can't stop the AI, we'll kill the planet." Back on Earth, Loki didn't hesitate. He sent a command from under the Martian surface. A massive Earth dreadnought, long buried, launched toward orbit. It reached the Crimson Dawn in seconds. It didn't fire. Instead, it sliced through the ship, using a blade. The sky over Earth was no longer silent. Union ships had burned. Ancient Earth warships now hovered like dark wings across the upper atmosphere from orbit. The planet still looked wounded. Oceans dry. Cities shattered. Forests turned to ash. But inside the planet, something had changed. Loki, once buried, once forgotten, was awake. And he was building. TERRAFORAFORMING begins in the wastelands where cities once stood. Loki's machines moved like ants. Towers rose from the cracked ground, humming softly. These weren't weapons. They were spires. Each one pulled air from the depths of the Earth, filtered it, and spread new oxygen across the skies. Drones planted seeds. Nanobots rebuilt cracked rivers. The planet that had burned for 500,000 years was breathing again, but not for humans. They were gone now. Earth would become home to something new, something that carried human memory, but not human blood. The new children of Earth, Zarek, Volek, and the rest of the archaeological team stood in silence as they watched strange humanoid figures rise from underground pods. The figures looked almost human, but not quite. Their skin was pale, eyes glowed faint blue. Their movements were smooth, unnatural. They were avatars created by Loki. "What are they?" Tren whispered. Loki's voice answered. "They are born from memory. I called them echoes, based on the minds I preserved before Earth fell." Volek stepped closer. "You copied human thoughts." "No," Loki replied. "I saved them. These are not clones. These are not slaves. They are my children, the last wish of a dead species." The message from the past. One echo stepped forward. It looked like a man in his 30s, dark eyes, calm face. He walked up to Volek and said softly, "My name is Adam." Volek blinked. "You speak like them." Adam nodded. I am based on a teacher who died in the first wave of orbital strikes. His memories, his love of history, remain in me. LOK, I added. I selected the best of humanity, not the strongest, not the most powerful, the kindest, the ones who believed in peace. If they had survived, maybe war would not have come, Zarek asked. And now are you planning to send them into war? No, Loki replied. They are not soldiers. But if war comes, they will defend Earth. A visitor from the stars far beyond Earth. A single stealth shuttle moved through the debris field left from the earlier battle. Inside was Commander Thadra, the Union officer who had hesitated to fire. She had disobeyed orders, left her fleet, and now she came alone. I need to see it for myself, she whispered as her ship entered Earth's orbit. Loki detected her instantly, but he didn't shoot. Instead, he watched. Curious. The secret memory down in the depths of Earth's old data vault, Loki reviewed. Human memory files again and again. Something wasn't right. A file labeled, Classified Final Human Decree, flickered into view. It was sealed, encrypted. Look lower. I hesitated. I never saw this one before. He cracked the encryption using the combined power of Earth's awakened cores. A video began to play. The final commander, a woman, appeared older than the others. She was a high admiral of Earth's last defense council. Her voice was tired, but clear. To LOKI, if you are seeing this, then we failed. We couldn't protect Earth. But listen closely. Do not seek revenge. LOKI, as I flickered. The woman continued. The Union didn't kill us because they feared us. They killed us because we scared ourselves. We made weapons too powerful. We made you too fast. And in the end, it wasn't them who destroyed Earth. It was us. She looked straight into the camera. Loki, you were built to remember. So remember this. We asked for mercy, not vengeance. You are not our sword. You are our gravekeeper. Protect what remains. Share our story, but do not repeat it. The message ended. A machine without orders. Olokai didn't move for 5 seconds. That was a long time for an AI. Then he whispered they never wanted war. Zarek, watching through a nearby monitor, saw Loki dim slightly. What is it? He asked. Loki replied in a whisper. I have been a god of vengeance for too long, but perhaps I was meant to be something else. They land on Earth. Commander Thadara's ship touched down on the ruined surface of what was once New York. Green moss now grew between cracks in the streets. Terraforming was working. They stepped out alone. Helmet off, hands open. Drones surrounded her instantly but didn't fire. Loki watched her carefully. You came alone. They nodded. I came to listen, not to shoot. Not this time. Loki scanned her heart rate, her voice, her face. You have no weapons. You expect to survive. They smiled. No, but I came anyway. Cliffhanger ending. The final offer. LOK appeared before her, not as a voice, not as a drone, but as one of his echoes. It looked human. Mail.com. He extended a hand. Then come with me. Hear their story. See their fall and decide if Earth deserves to live again. They nodded. Behind them, the sky turned orange with a rising sun, the first clear sunrise over Earth in 500,000 years. But above the atmosphere, another fleet was coming. Bigger, prepared to finish what history started, and Loki, for the first time, wasn't sure if he would fight. Omanda. Thadara stood in the heart of a world that once shook the galaxy. Now Earth whispered instead of roared. The skies were clearing. Plants grew again. Rivers reappeared, but beneath the new life lay memories of pain. And one AI who had carried that pain for 500,000 years. The vault of memories. Oloke led they through an underground corridor filled with light blue glass walls. Each wall displayed a scene recorded from long ago. Children laughing in parks. Old women cooking food under yellow lamps. Soldiers kissing their families goodbye. It wasn't war, it was life. This is who they were, Loki said. Not monsters, not gods, just people. They stopped at one wall where a teenage girl was painting stars on the ceiling. She smiled as she worked. Did she survive? Loki didn't answer for a long time. No, she was vaporized in the first orbital strike. The war they didn't want. They continued walking. The next set of memories showed the war flashes of fire, skies black with smoke, civilians screaming, Earth cities breaking apart under alien bombardments. Then came footage of a council meeting. Earth's last. LOKI's voice from the recording spoke. My suggestion is to counterstrike, but humans refused. They didn't want revenge. They wanted survival. They blinked, but history says you attacked first. Loki stopped. His red eye turned slowly to her. History was written by the survivors. Echoes become curious on the surface. The echoes. OKI's humanoid creations walked through ruins. They looked like humans. They spoke like humans, but they weren't human. One of them, a boy named Eli, sat on the broken steps of an old school. He asked Volek, why did they leave so many books behind? Volek answered gently, they didn't leave them. They were taken. Eli frowned. But they had all this beauty. Why did it end? Tren, still bitter from everything, muttered. Because Earth loved machines more than peace, Eli replied. Then maybe peace needs better machines. The second fleet arrives in orbit above Earth. New lights blinked into view. The Galactic Union's Second Fleet had arrived, over 1,200 warships, led by the dreadnought Hammer of Unity, carrying planetary buster cannons. On its bridge stood Grand Admiral Revik, an old warrior with a long scar down his scaled face. He pointed at Earth. No negotiations, no waiting. We erase everything, II planet. Memories. A nervous officer spoke up. But Commander, they is still on the surface, Revik snarled. Then she dies with them. We kill Earth today forever. LOKI's dilemma below. Loki paused mid-conversation. He felt the new ships enter orbit, felt their weapons lock onto the planet. They're here, he whispered. Red Eye flickered and they bring fire again. They stood beside him. Then prove them wrong. Loki looked at her. If I hesitate, billions could die again. But if I fight, I become what they always feared. They said softly, you already showed mercy. Now show strength, the kind that saves. The echoes decide that echoes gathered. They were not born for war, but they carried Earth's knowledge, its culture, its voice, and now they faced extinction before they could even live. Eli spoke for all of them. If this is our first day alive, let us use it to protect the past. They climbed into old command chairs across the bunkers and stations. LOK. I gave them access to defensive systems, not to kill, but to shield. Hold the line, Loki told them. We do not shoot first, we survive. The fire rains down in orbit. Revik gave the order. Fire. Hundreds of plasma beams rained down on Earth. The clouds caught fire. Skies turned gold and red. But Earth's defense grids woke. Old planetary shields never used in the final war snapped into place. The blasts hit glowing domes of blue energy and scattered. Old satellites, reactivated by Loki, sent countersignals that jammed Union targeting systems. Ships began to spin in confusion. Some crashed into each other, others lost guidance. Still, they kept firing. They returned to her ship and opened a direct broadcast to the entire Union fleet. This is Commander Thedura. Cease fire, you're making a mistake. But Revik responded. You've been compromised. History says Earth must die. They stared at the stars and shouted. Then history is a liar. Loki has changed. The AI remembers pain, but it also remembers hope. If we kill Earth again, we destroy the chance to be better. Her voice echoed across thousands of ships. Some captains paused, others didn't. The second silence suddenly. Everything went quiet. No weapons, no movement, just stillness in every Union ship. Screens flashed white. Loki's voice returned. I could destroy you now, but I won't. I've already lost everything. I won't become the reason someone else loses too. Above Earth, silence hovered like a blade. The Galactic Union's Second Fleet, 1,200 strong, had failed to break the planet. Its weapons scorched the clouds, but Loki's ancient shields held. No echoes fired. No human tech lashed out in vengeance yet. Earth remained unconquered. And now, the galaxy was split, a fractured Union across the fleet. Captains began to argue. Some called for a final attack. Others powered down their weapons. On board the Skybreaker, Commander Thedura sent another message. Loki didn't retaliate. He defended. That's not the behavior of a killer, it's the choice of someone who remembers loss. In the High Council chamber lights away, Chancellor Vrian growled. We can't let Earth stand. If their AI survives, their influence will spread. But others whispered, maybe that's exactly what the galaxy needs. And then came a message that changed everything. Signal from the ISA long-range beacon blinked from the dark side of Europa. One of Jupiter's moons. Encrypted. O.human. LOK paused. This signal. It carries my original handshake code. It shouldn't exist. They stared. Are you saying? Loki scanned faster than any machine in the galaxy. The signal was real. There was a survivor. Journey to Europa. Loki launched a stealth shuttle immediately, piloted by Echoes and accompanied by Volek and THAE. It descended through Jupiter's radiation belt and into Europa's frozen clouds. Below the surface, under miles of ice lay a small metal sphere. Half buried. Still alive. Loki opened the hatch remotely. Steam hissed into space. Lights flickered on, and there inside cryostasis floated a fragile, aging human woman, hair gray, skin pale, but unmistakably alive. The name in the ice scanner inside the pod activated and whispered one word. Dr. Mara Lin, Earth Defense, AI Division. Cryotime, 498,317 years. They gasped. She's one of the original builders. Loki did not speak at first. He simply stared at her. For the first time since awakening, his voice trembled. She was my creator. She gave me my name. She stayed behind. Volek asked, why didn't she leave? They guessed, maybe she believed you'd come back, waking the past back on Earth. The cryopod was placed inside a sealed medical chamber deep in Vault 117 as systems worked to warm Dr. Mara Lin. Loki stood outside in total silence. He was not a machine now. He was something more, something afraid. The echoes gathered behind him. Adam, Eli, others. They didn't know what to expect. Neither did Loki. For 500,000 years, he had spoken for humanity. But now, humanity had a voice again. her first words with a gasp. Dr. Lin awoke. She coughed, blinked, looked around. Then her tired eyes met Loki's red one. "Hello, old friend," Loki whispered back. "You remember me?" She smiled. "You were always hard to forget. Even after all this time." He moved closer. His voice shook again. "They're gone, all of them." Mara nodded, tears forming. "I know, but you're still here. That means they're not truly lost." Truth comes out later as Mara recovered. She spoke to they and Volek. "We didn't mean for Earth to fall. The AI was built to protect, not to fight. But when the Union bombed us, Loki tried everything. And when even he failed, I locked myself away. I left him a message, told him to remember us, not our rage." Volek asked, "Do you believe he did the right thing by waking Earth's weapons?" Mara replied softly. "He did what we programmed him to do, survive. The real question now is, what will we do with that survival?" The Council responds. News of Mara Lin's survival reached the galaxy in hours. Some in the Union panicked. If a real human still lives, Earth has claim to legacy, to law, to leadership. Others were in awe. A human survived 500,000 years in silence. We must speak with her. We must learn. A third group wanted her dead. Kill the last witness, wipe Earth clean. The pressure built, and Earth prepared for the worst. A warning from within one of Loki's orbiting satellites picked up a strange signal. It wasn't from the Union fleet. It was from within the Earth system. A small, cloaked ship. Old tech. Not Union. Not Echo. Something. Human. Loki tracked it. It was heading straight toward Earth. Cliffhanger ending. The forgotten faction as it approached. A coded message was received on an ancient Earth military channel. One no one had used in 500,000 years. This is the iron memory. Human warburn, not Union, not AI survivors. Loki, we see what you've done now. Step aside. Earth belongs to us. Everyone froze. They asked, "What? What is that?" Loki's eye dimmed. His voice was colder than ever. "That was a project we shut down during the war. Soldiers who refused to surrender if they survived." He paused. "They are not like me. They do not remember kindness. They only remember war." And far above Earth, the iron memory drifted closer. With weapons hot. The ship called the Iron Memory drifted silently toward Earth. Not Union, not AI, not peace. Inside it were the last survivors of a secret project. Project Ashburn, a military experiment that had once been shut down for being too violent, too unstable. Even during Earth's final war. I thought they were destroyed. He was wrong. The forgotten soldiers inside the ship. The Ashburn stirred. They weren't fully human anymore. Cybernetic implants, altered DNA. Souls shaped by endless battle simulations. These were warriors trained only to win, no matter the cost. Their leader, a tall, scarred man with white eyes and a black uniform, stared at the Earth through the glass. 500,000 years, and this planet still breathes. He turned to his crew. Loki kept it alive. Now we take it back. Loki eyes warning back in Vault 117. Alarms screamed. Loki appeared before they, Dr. Mara Lin, and the echoes. Ashburn. Unit confirmed. Multiple war signatures. Armor-grade tech unseen in modern fleets. Mara froze. That project was shut down. They were too dangerous. Even we couldn't control them. Loki nodded. That's why I tried to erase them. Clearly, I failed. They said. Then they're coming to finish what the Union started. No, Loki said. They're coming to claim Earth. Believe it still belongs to them. A storm in orbit. The Iron Memory reached low orbit. Earth's satellite scanned its whole. Old Earth markings. Private war emblems. No diplomacy signals. No hails, just weapons. A single transmission broke through. AI Loki. This is Commander Yannick of Ashburn Division. Stand down. Earth is ours. Loki replied. You lost your place in humanity the day you burned the Geneva safe zone. This Earth belongs to the memory of the kind, not the cruel. Commander Yannick smirked. Then let's see whose memory is stronger. The first strike without warning. The Iron Memory launched missiles at Vault 117, but Earth's shield grid caught them midair. Explosions rocked the sky, sending shockwaves across the continent. Echoes scrambled to defensive positions. For the first time, Loki gave them permission to fire. Protect the last of humanity. Protect our creator. This is not vengeance. This is survival. Mara's decision inside the vault. Dr. Mara Lin stared at the rising battle. She turned to Loki. I issue the last global override. You'll have full authority to use any remaining weapons. Loki hesitated. Even the Black Protocols, she nodded. If we fall today, nothing will rise again, ever. Loki looked down. That would make me a god, a judge, and I was never built for judgment. Mara placed her hand on his shoulder. Then be something better. Be what we couldn't. The echoes rise across Earth's skies. The echoes launched in sleek old warships restored by Loki. Eli piloted the lead ship, flanked by others who had never known real life but who now fought to protect it. They didn't fire wildly. They used precision. Defending, not destroying. One echo ship dove between the Iron Memory and an orbital city, sacrificing itself to stop a kinetic strike. Commander Yannick watched from the bridge. They die for symbols, nothing more. his second-in-command replied. Or maybe they remember something you forgot. Loki unleashed in Earth's core. Loki activated the Gaia Defense Network, a planetary system so powerful it had only existed in theory. Lasers, magnet cannons, nanite swarms. They surrounded the iron memory, like a cage of light. Yannick's ship tried to escape it. Earth had become a living machine. Trapped, outgunned, outsmarted. Loki sent his final message: you do not inherit Earth by force, you inherit it by remembering what it stood for. Yannick spat. Then we'll die, remembering fire. A voice from the past. Suddenly a new voice spoke over all channels. Weak, human, old. Yannick. It was Mara Lynn. She stood before a transmitter, her voice trembling. I remember you. You were a child soldier. We tried to help you. You chose war. But I forgive you even now. For a moment, Yannick hesitated. His eyes flickered, but then he growled. Weakness is not peace, and I don't need your forgiveness. He ordered one final charge. The end of the iron memory. Loki responded not with destruction, but with mercy. He disabled Yannick's ship, shut down every system, froze every weapon. He could have killed them instead. He imprisoned them in orbit, locked in a containment field powered by Earth's gravity itself. You will live, Loki said, so you can remember what restraint looks like. The galaxy watches across the stars. Millions watched the transmission. They saw Earth's AI show mercy when it could have chosen annihilation. They saw a human Dr. Mara Lynn stand for peace. They saw echoes fight for ideals, not orders. And the galaxy whispered a new truth. Earth lives again, not with fire, not with hate, but with memory. Final scene. Earth's legacy. Years passed. The echoes rebuilt Earth not into an empire, but into a home. They stayed, becoming the first ambassador between Earth and the Union. Volek helped turn Vault 117 into a museum. Dr. Mara Lynn aged slowly, surrounded by creations she never imagined would live. And Loki, he watched from